Tonight, Hunter Biden fighting back tears as his eldest daughter, Naomi, testified in his defense, saying in August 2018 she considered her father to be on the road to recovery from his drug addiction. It was the clearest I'd seen him since my uncle died. He seemed really great, she said. It was 2 months before Hunter filled out that government background check to purchase a gun, checking no on the form that asked if he was an active drug user. Naomi testifying she introduced her dad to her future husband. I told him I was so proud of him, she said. But on cross-examination, prosecutor Leo Wise pressed Naomi about meeting her father a few days after he bought the gun, pointing to their text messages showing the two were having a difficult time meeting up after she borrowed his truck, highlighting a text where Hunter asked her to meet him with the truck at 2 a.m. Naomi texting the following day, "I'm really sorry, Dad. I can't take this. I don't know what to say. I just miss you and want to hang out with you." Following her testimony, Naomi Biden gave her father a hug and kiss and quickly exited the courtroom. Earlier, the prosecution rested their case after calling 10 witnesses, many describing Hunter Biden's frequent drug use around the time he filled out that background check in October of 2018. Prosecutors say he lied about his drug use on the form, which is a federal crime. Hunter Biden's ex-wife testified she found drug paraphernalia inside their car in October of 2018. And his ex-girlfriend, who was dating him at the time, saying Hunter was smoking crack every 20 minutes or so. The defense says that Hunter did not knowingly lie on that background check and that they have not ruled out calling him to the stand to testify in his own defense. Lester?
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.